Welcome to the Building On Purpose Tubecast, where contractors share how they build with intention, purpose, and impact. Hello, Allison.
Hello, Chris.
How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm great. Who's the male? Who said that you could bring a man with you to this?
Me.
I'm just taking notes.
I was so excited. I'm like, we're going to have our first female.
We still do.
Oh, I know. I'm just messing with you.
So this is Josh Benitone. He's my business partner in the roofing company.
Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
I'm great, man. Good to meet you and see you.
Good to meet you too.
Would you like to be on the Tubecast as well?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's like, I just started.
Whatever the boss says.
Oh my goodness.
He's the eye candy.
Why am I wearing a roofle hat? I can't wear a roofle hat. They're not paying for this podcast.
We do use roofle, so.
Well, Tiff, my wife will get mad at me. She'll be like, stop bringing in other people that aren't paying for your podcast.
Noted. So my back office company will be sending you a hat.
Please. I got a really cool one at Adam Bensman's thing. Hold on one sec here. Now, you'd never know that this was a roofing company, right? You'd be like, oh, Buffalo Bills, right?
Josh Allen here.
Yeah, right? You think, oh, Buffalo Bills. Nope. This company is called Rome, R-O-A-M.
That's pretty cool.
Buffalo Rome. And
Yeah.
that's it. No roofing company name. This is just their...
Yeah.
My wife can't stand it when I wear these flat-brimmed hats.
I don't like them either.
I mean, that's what I normally wear unless I'm working. So I think you look great, man.
I think it makes me look young and hip and cool, 6'7".
Oh, no.
So,
No.
by
No,
the way, welcome to the Tubecast. We're here. We're live. We're in the green room, ladies and gentlemen. This is where all the good stuff happens. Because and I did a training with Adam Bensman this morning, and we both had a little good laugh before I trained his team. I said, man, all the good stuff always happens prior to like the serious kickoff to a podcast. He's like, isn't that right? He goes, that's why we always just hit record. And he goes, we'll take B-roll from the green room and before the thing cast. That's where people are laughing and having fun. And then the serious stuff starts and people are like this.
We do this.
Yes, right? They're like answering very corporate, like, wait a minute, you were just dropping F-bombs in the green room.
Oh, no.
You're gonna come out here and be all like nice. So.
And then the second it ends, people start loosening up again, and it's like whatever gets caught on camera, it's always so.
Yeah. So welcome to the Tubecast. For those of you that are just joining us, we have Allison Ricci and Josh Allen. Just kidding.
That's right. I wish.
What's your last name, Josh?
Josh Benitone.
Josh Benitone, like Benetton, the clothing company.
Close enough.
I'm like going back to the 80s. People are like, oh my God, that guy is old. I'll be 55 in January. So, and I'm going to say your name properly. Is it Ascension?
It is Ascension Roofing.
Ascension. Okay, great. Now, where are you guys all located? And this is for the guests that are watching the show. Tell them a little bit, where are you all from?
We're located in Illinois. So we're in the southern and midsection of Illinois right now. And that's where we're at.
Awesome. And what do you guys do at Ascension?
We exist to serve our communities. So we do storm restoration. We also do retail work, but we do roofing, siding, guttering, fascia, soffit, that type of stuff.
So everything exterior.
Absolutely.
I love it. I sit up here in the throne of all thrones, and I look out at our little neighborhood out here in Utah, and the Timpanogos are in the background, and whenever like I'm like training, they're like, well, what does financing cover? And I'm like, well, everything in it, on it, around it. It's just so easy for me to look out of the right side of my eye and go, roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, hardy board, LP, garage doors, gutters, epoxy, cement, electric, plumbing. Like if it's in it, on or around it, we can finance it. So it's so easy for me to do that. Now, are you all running into that time of the year where you shut down, or will you install and work throughout the whole season?
So this is a misconception in our industry. In all reality, we've got the ability, as long as our workers feel safe and they're in a place where they can move, we can work. I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's too cold now to roof," and then homeowners get all nervous about that. But we've got really good crews. They're looking to serve their family. We're looking to keep continuous flow in our organization.
Yeah.
And so if we can do it safely, we're out there getting our work done.
I love it. Good for you, because we get all the excuses in the world. Like, contractors will come to us and say, "Oh my gosh, I really love the idea of Improvify. We really need lending and training and support technology. But you know what? We're getting to the end of the year now and things get slow. So we'll call you back in spring." And I'm like, oh my Lord, that's like such a bad mindset to be in, because right now, when all your competitors are going, "Oh, it's too cold, I don't want to do this, I'm just going to put everybody on unemployment, unfortunately, for the rest of the year," is when you guys can just pass them and get the team trained and keep your social media going and keep your ads going and do your follow processes and build your AI automations and your cool things that you do. This is separation season.
Yeah, so what we do, continuous flow is the name of the game. A lot of people in our industry are all about batch processing, which is not really an efficient way to do construction. What you see is everyone wants to jump into roofs in the spring when it's nice, slow down in the summer, kick it up in the fall, take the winter off. They try to blame the workers, blame the season. We have a saying here: there's no traffic on the second mile. So when everybody else is finding an excuse to take a break, we literally, in our leadership meetings, as we get to this time of the year, we start doing alternate choice with weather. And so we start having these conversations. "Hey, Allison, hey, when we get that inevitable 2 weeks of ice that no one can go on a roof, here's how I want to train the guys on this," or "This is when we're going to do all of our podcasts," or "This is when we're going to, update all of our project management training." And so we're going into the season saying, yeah, we're going to give our guys some really good holiday time off. Right. It's a little bit slower just from the nature.
Yeah.
More of it getting dark at 4 than it being cold. And so we're looking at how do you build consistency, compounding habits. So last year I had new sales guys starting. Mm-hmm. Man, they sold their first 20 jobs while it's icing out. And we're getting no one from OSHA's listening. I know, I'm just kidding. But we're getting photos from the guys, and it's funny because half the house is covered in ice still because the sun's never touched it. But the other house is thawed out. Yeah. And they're like, "Hey, I just did my inspection on the thawed outside." Meanwhile, there's an ice chute down this valley that's never cleared out. And I love it because when the guys come out, people are people. You're going to say, "Oh, it's been so hot this summer. Oh, it's been hard to get out there and work." I just pull up the sales boards from January and February.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
anybody in this competing market, don't know what you're talking about, is completely dead. Just keep putting your tails in between your legs.
Exactly.
Don't listen to one thing that Josh just said. It's dead. Just go crawl underneath your little snowball, take a little snooze, enjoy Christmas. We'll see you next year. I love it. So tell me a little bit about Ascension. Where did it come from? I'm really big on branding and marketing. Where did the name come from? Is there any hidden meaning behind it, the logo and all that cool stuff?
Absolutely.
All right, dude, tell us the story.
Okay, so Ascension Roofing is obviously our brand, and we created this roofing company to serve the needs of Southern Illinois. That's where we started, is right out of our home base, on our own houses.
Yep.
And so we started with that with very little. We literally started with nothing, and based off our first sales, built the business from that point on. No capital investments, no partnerships, no anything like that. As far as the name, Ascension to us is very, very near and dear, and it's very beautiful to us. And so for Ascension, from our beliefs, that's when Christ came into power. And so we stick with Ascension from that, because we're going to rise and we're going to bring everybody with us that's around us.
I love it.
There we go.
This is my podcast. I'll talk about whatever I want. If you don't like it, you can just leave. Our fundamental core of what we did and built this company here is that.
Yeah.
It's all values and the good word. And it's really great because you can feel it.
Yep.
You can feel it in your team. And it's not for everybody, and it's okay. But when you build a company with real values, from what you said, your core beliefs and your philosophy and your religion and your peace, it's different.
Yep.
It feels different. There's a certain pride, there's a certain level of respect between teammates. You know, we have three sales business development consultants. They never step on each other's toes. We got one guy that's away this week and he doesn't want to be away. He loves working. And I think Alex covered one of his prospects that came in and did that. He said, "Yo, it's Taj." And like, it's just different and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. And there's a certain amount of pride. But also, you probably have an interesting story to tell when you walk into a home,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So what's the story? What are your salespeople or what do you guys call your people that go in to do inspections and demos?
So those are our client specialists.
Client specialists. What do they say about Ascension? Like, what's the storyline? How do you build trust fast in a roofing industry?
How do we build trust fast? That's a great
We're a
question.
team of experts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're a team of experts, and so we handle everything from beginning to end with our experience, with our values.
Yeah.
And we, Josh can speak into this part. He handles everything sales related and also growth and leadership related. And so our young men who work for us will get together once a week, and Josh leads them through things. What you hear a lot in roofing is you hear the guys get told like, "Oh, work-life balance, work-life balance, work-life balance." Well, what does that mean? If you can't manage your finances, how do you ever get work-life balance?
Yep.
If no one's ever taught you how to manage a checking account, how do you get work-life balance?
Yeah.
That type of stuff. And like, if you can't manage your emotions, how do you get work-life balance? And so Josh comes in and he does a leadership meeting once a week where he goes over, well, I'll let you kind of go over what you go over.
Yeah.
He goes over a lot of things that it takes to get to the next level beyond, do we want everybody going out and selling well? Absolutely. But if we get you to sell very well and you can't manage your life, then we're actually helping to hurt you. So
That
I'll let
is
you go over on that.
Yeah. We focus on sales when sales suck.
That's true.
When, just being real, but when sales are great, we don't care because we operate out of systems and processes. Like we
Yes,
don't manage, we manage systems and processes. But one of our big things we say here, well, I'll say it 100 times probably, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so where the faith intersects with business, so we all have multiple businesses, multiple things that we're a part of, ministries that we're a part of. I tell all of my guys that work for me at any of my companies, ministry, all that stuff. I'm the same guy in the roofing world as I am in the coffee world, as I am in church world, as I am with my family. I wear the same colors. I do the same things. If I'm going to come into business and build a business, it's going to have the same values I lead my family with, the same values I lead my hospitality business with, the same values that Allison and James lead their family with. And so when I look at people, to me, the conversation stewardship. I've fallen in love with roofing because I've now gotten to know it. But what we do, what we sell, what we install, those are vehicles for the things that actually drive us in life. And so when I look at it, it's like I've got a bunch of young men and young women on my team. We can turn all of them into six-figure earners because we have the systems and processes to do that. The question is not whether or not you want to be a six-figure earner in our organization. It's whether you have a growth mindset. It's whether you want to come in and be part of a team or not. And so I would say, at any given time, 50 to 60% of what I'm working with our staff directly has a lot less to do with their job itself and more to do with character, integrity, finance, mental health, spiritual health, family health, pouring into when they're getting married and stuff like that, because most organizations tend to focus on external motivators.
Money.
Crush it, get the sales, get the bonus, get this, get that, get more, 150.
Get the Rolex, baby.
My wife's a counselor, and one of the things she always talks about is she goes, external motivators, external conviction is so much less powerful than internal motivators and internal conviction. So when we begin to see what fuels the guys and gals on our team, and we begin to speak life into that and be on the same page about where they're going, naturally they want to get the six-figure sales. Naturally they want to do that. So even our sales goals, most of it's just like, we're not setting these extravagant, crazy, lavish goals to kill people. We're trying to build the goals in a way that is like what the median should be for healthy months, to reward the fact that when you do a good job consistently over a long period of time and you keep your house in order, you keep your workflow in order, there's reward for that.
Right.
I've had some pretty good interviews. I've been on some. This is really this is really a breath of fresh air. I'm literally shocked. I get on these things, and I don't really know where they're going to go. So you probably don't have a retention issue.
No.
I mean, and then when you do run an ad to hire people, it must be I mean, I can't imagine, like, I haven't heard anything like this other than my good friend Randy Hurtado down at DT, and he runs a faith-based business as well. DT Roofing down in Texas. You know who Randy is? Randy Hurtado?
I don't.
Oh my goodness, you guys should all catch up. So much stuff. Like, we have prayer group on Tuesday mornings there, where the entire company comes in and his minister will come in and we do ministry there. Wow. So that's got to be such, I don't really know where to go with this. This is hearing this is like for the first time. This is so wonderful. And I think that what you're laying out here, Josh, is like a format of caring for your team so much in a different way, other than it just being about the money.
Right.
Yeah.
My goodness, they skip this stuff in school. They skip how to like live.
Right.
It's when I went to school in the 70s and the 80s. It was when you were a sophomore or junior, they're like, where are you going to apply to college? Nobody sat me down to ask me what my why was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was where are you going to apply to go to school, just because it was assumed that you're going to go to school. Nobody said, hey, you're really good with your hands and you're a visionary. Maybe you should go into something like this. Your team must really appreciate this camaraderie and leadership then.
It's special. What I really tell my guys, so this is, I've had to uncover these things the hard way. Being a pioneer in something, I've only had a small amount of mentors in my life. Allison's husband has been one of the big ones for me.
Yeah.
I tell my guys, so much of your life when you're young, as you nailed it on the head. People are, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do with your life? Make a decision now. I tell my guys, your 20s, really 18 up through your 20s, don't focus on what you want to do. Focus on who you want to be.
Yeah.
What kind of a man do you want to be? What kind of a woman do you want to be? What kind of a husband? What kind of a father? What kind of a mother do you want to be? Because the reality is when I was 18, 19 years old, if you told me I was going to run the businesses I run, I laughed at you. I wasn't interested in those trades.
100%.
Those trades have become a vehicle for me to do what I'm passionate about. And so I tell my guys, I'm like, hey, you're here now. I don't need you to be obsessed with and be nerds about roofing. I need you to realize that the lessons, the principles, the things that you have here, we're pouring into the men, the women that you're going to be as you mature. And so in your 20s, find a job that you love, the people you're working with that's paying off in the unseen and the intangible things. Because all of a sudden what you do is you find yourself being the man or the woman that you were actually made and called to be. And that can manifest into any vehicle. Being a parent, being a foster parent, being in ministry, being in nonprofit, being in business, being in sales, hospitality, services, you name that. It's the intangible, unseen things that actually make organizations successful or not, make men and women successful or not. And so that's why I poured my guys. I'm like, hey, I'm going to teach you, as long as you're here, I'm going to pretend like you're going to be here for the next 40 years. I'm going to paint, sales team manager and like production manager, regional manager on your head. I'm going to cast vision for you because I want to show you a trajectory. But at the end of the day, when you step out into what you're supposed to be doing, we're all going to celebrate because it's just my goal to push you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that, I don't know. Who do you want to be? What kind of a man do you want to be? That you can uncover that in any job, in any trade, relationships and stuff like that.
Wow. I can't wait to share this with my team. Because we do some pretty silly things here. Last month they all pranked me. It's cool though, because we're building this culture here that's so different than at a bank, right? Because we're in the lending business at the end of the day. We're not bankers. We're in the lending business. And most people think of this as a very boring industry, but my team picks on me all the time. And Donna is over there leading the operations team, and they just come up with some cool things. So I can't wait to share this with them, because it's there's a lot of things that we're striving to be and be very different in the marketplace. So going back to when you show up to an estimate or a demo, it must be to the core. Your presentation must come out very differently with with all of these beautiful things that you built in. Is that part of your story that you then explain to them about Ascension?
Absolutely. So everything that we do, so everything that we're doing to pour into our people, it's not just for us, it's for their development, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And it must just go, it goes right down to the consumer with the need.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And so what we do is all of our processes are completely streamlined. And
Yeah.
because we believe how you do anything is how you do everything, every single step of our process is so finely tuned that like it when we get into those situations, the homeowners, they've all told us that it's 100% differentiation in the marketplace because it is so professional, it is so high level. Our people are so proud and
Yeah.
thankful
Yeah.
to be at their door and to have the opportunity to serve them. Another differentiator in our marketplace for us is kind of what you brought up in the beginning is we do employ quite a bit of females. So we employ a lot of females in a very male dominant industry who are experts in the field, experts in construction, who hold licenses, who have the knowledge, people that build out our jobs and do, the major construction work behind the scenes are female. And so those are things all help as well to show a differentiation in the marketplace. But
Yeah.
then kind of piggybacking off of what Josh was saying and what you were saying, it's so vital and important to me that we're offering these opportunities. That's part of our mission statement is we offer life-changing career opportunities to all people.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
who I want the person that was told by their parents, you're a loser, you didn't finish college.
Yeah.
They weren't interested in college. I was sold that same dream. You have to go to college, right? So as a poor kid from the wrong side of town, I immediately joined the military, put a decade of my life into the service to be able to pay for school. And then I literally never used my degree until I came into the trades,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
trades that have provided freedom for my family. It's the trades that have provided the ability for my family to be able to foster children. It's the trades that have been able to provide us with all the benefits that we have. And so I can't speak highly enough about the trades.
Yeah.
Part of, our next phase is to, offer scholarships strictly for trades only and
Yeah.
to go to local high schools for that because
Oh,
it's
they
not
need it.
many a graduation service and they're like, so-and-so got in for this and so-and-so, for whatever. I almost said for philosophy. So-and-so got in for this degree or
A
that
liberal
degree.
arts degree.
And then it's I want to come in and really, pay for someone to get an HVAC certificate, right? I want to pay for plumbing trades. I want to be able to push those types of things because you can get right into the industry as a young person and you can have so much more freedom than you ever had imaginable being chained to a desk. It's such a different lifestyle.
I don't have much time to go out and do the things that I dream of when I drive around in my truck sometimes. Man, I would love to get in front of a bunch of school kids and share my story, my wins, my losses, the incredible traumas that I've been through in life, and just shake them and be like, it's okay to learn how to be a plumber or an electrician, or my goodness, the beautiful art of being a craftsman or a carpenter.
Oh, yes.
Who's bending wood nowadays? I mean, it's in a lost trade. Does it even exist? AI cannot do the stuff that we're talking about here, folks.
Right.
My good friend Alex Hormozy talked about it in one of his podcasts. He said AI will be replacing AI. So like these guys that are building these software companies right now, they're AI, just like, oh my gosh, the trade shows. Like, if you don't have AI in your booth, like, what are you even doing going to a trade show? Like, at some point, the machine is going to replace your software. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we left
AI.
A and an I in our name,
Yeah,
just in case later we need to have one of those videos.
Just so the robots know we're cool with them. That's it.
We're good with you. Like, we're going to the AI software companies that are AI are going to be replaced by AI agents, like, because it's going to learn your thing and it's going to make it and do it better. So back to your point, systems and processes, even when things go south, because things happen, because you have that core built into your company of doing the right thing and putting the customer probably very first, or at least communicating with them honestly. Even the bad things that happen on a construction project aren't probably that bad because you're doing it properly.
Right. So, it's one of the questions that I ask is, if you really want to stun somebody, say this sentence, we were wrong. we made a
Yeah.
mistake.
You
You
mean
know, like
tell the truth?
Yeah.
if we actually do that, tell it. And it stuns people because they're so used to getting the runaround. So, we obviously have had challenges, and things like that. Things
Yeah.
happen. We are all humans. We're not fully AI yet. And so basically, when something does go wrong, you immediately take ownership of it. That's part of our core values is, it's one thing everybody loves to use the word integrity.
Yeah.
It's actually living that honesty, living it out and accepting it even when it's kind of difficult and uncomfortable. And so, yeah, whenever we do have challenges come up, we're not perfect. You immediately take ownership of those things and make it right. And we don't have anybody in our industry that's upset with us because when we do have the challenges, we immediately make it right. We take ownership of it.
So that brings me to a good point. Here comes some education for anybody that's still watching this. You probably are because it's a good one. So, in lending, how do we tell the truth? So, in financing, I'll write $10,000 on one side of this T, and I'll write prime at the top. So here we go. It says $10,000 for those of you that don't believe me. This is not a magic trick. It says $10,000. So if I go to someone's house and I say, "Hey, Mr. Smith, we can finance this thing for you. You told me you got great credit. It's $10,000 and the price is $132 a month. Scan the QR code. Let's get you approved so we can high five, get this thing locked and loaded so we can do the build." Sound good? Great. Excellent. Scans a QR code and it comes back. And unfortunately, he was not very honest. He has, here we go, non-prime. And the storyline of this is telling the truth. Unfortunately, he has, whoops, there we go. It's reverse. Non-prime credit. Non-prime means, unfortunately, he doesn't qualify for the 132, which was let's say it's a 9.99 10-year loan. He doesn't qualify for that. So we have something to do right now. We did not build enough margin into that job to take him to a non-prime lender that might charge 10%.
Mm.
So we have to do something. We have to be honest. We should disclose. We should tell the truth. Mr. Smith, unfortunately, we tried to take you to the prime lender to get you this really great 132 a month, but we got declined. We can't get to that because unfortunately your credit is challenged. So we have to take you to a non-prime lender. However, the non-prime lenders may charge you money for the money because it's kind of like buy here, pay here. So it's not a $10,000 contract anymore.
Mm.
We got you approved, and I'm just going to make up some false numbers. We got you approved for $147 a month, and the interest rate's 12.99. It's only a couple bucks more. Would you like to proceed? But the price ain't 10 anymore, it's 11. So contractors, to Allison's point, tell the truth.
Yep.
You're much better off taking an old contract, ripping it up, repricing the job, telling the truth because they have non-prime credit. Tell the truth, be honest, explain to them how financing works. Don't lose money on jobs because the customer could not get approved for a prime product. Tell the truth. Do things that other contractors don't dare to do. Be honest.
Right.
Like Allison just said, what'd you say? It's our fault?
We were wrong.
We were wrong, where we own things. We own things. You're right. We were wrong. We're human beings. And your customers will appreciate your honesty so much more than, oh my gosh, all the other things that we do in life. We try to snake our way out and not be honest. Like, just tell the truth and disclose. Dare to sell how others won't dare to sell and be the differentiator in your marketplace like Ascension. Where are you guys, any big dreams for the company? Where are you headed with this thing?
Man, we have no shortage of dreams.
we blue sky think in everything we
You
do.
want company dreams? You want personal dreams?
Which dreams?
Let's talk about company dreams. Where do you see your company in, like, I like to think 3 to 5 years ahead for our company all the time. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5?
So my big thing, speaking from the like client team, like sales, all this idea. We have system processes. I've got a bunch of young men that work for me that when I'm looking at them, I said, guys, I'm putting you on the me trajectory.
Okay.
Now that you could go anywhere you feel called to be, you can take the skills we've taught you. We can take our back office systems and processes. And if you feel like you're supposed to be in South Carolina, you spend 2 years with us learning how to build your own team, do your own thing. You can build a pod of 5 guys and gals to work with you, to go knock doors, to do sit downs, to do 34-point inspections, to meet with insurance adjusters, to get things fully funded, all that kind of stuff. Our business is copy and paste. And so I'm looking at this from my end, which I handle a lot of the client claim side of stuff. Allison leads more in the production side. We can go both ways, and we do as we need to, but just primarily that dream is looking at my guys, and I'm looking at a discipleship model. So I'm raising guys up right now that each are learning how to pour in, invest, and lead a team of 5 people right now.
And do it under the umbrella of Ascension.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you can build people up to go out and essentially, for lack of a better term, become franchisees, regional managers, general, but you have the ability to send them anywhere. And so I've got 2 guys right now, they're handpicking their team of young people who are like, these are people I could see pouring into and leading well. And so I look at that, like we've got one market we actually have 2 markets we're looking at getting into. One, we're getting some traction. I don't think I can disclose it fully. I don't know.
No.
We're live. So, but like we've started doing some jobs up there, and like I have one of my guys toying around with like, should I go up there for 6 months and build a team? And I'm like, well, dude, if not, we'll take rotations where every week one of us is up there so that we're not just sitting like a corporate handbook and see what happens. We're going to model. The modeling is a big part of what we do. Model what it looks like to sell, model what it looks like to do leadership, model what it looks like to deal with problems. And so I really look at this as like slow down to go fast. I want to grow by multiplication, not addition.
Right.
Because I can only act like one team myself. But if I teach my guys to be able to multiply into 5 guys, and then my focus stays the same, I'm still pouring into the same people I was pouring into. I'm just pouring into them at a different level. So from a business standpoint, strictly when it comes to function, that's one of my big dreams here.
That's so cool because it's like very much Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then thank you, Mr. McDonald and the Kroc brother, like the Ray Kroc for setting up systems and processes and efficiencies, right, that we've all learned from. I have no doubt. I can imagine a team member not wanting to not necessarily compete, but start from the ground up and try to figure out all this stuff. It makes 0 sense when you can create beautiful pods that have culture within them, and they already know that it's going to work, because what works in your territory will work in North Carolina and in South Carolina. And it doesn't matter if it's storm, restoration, or retail, because it's all going to be retail someday, folks.
Yeah. Exactly. I know.
So it doesn't matter. It's so cool that it's culture in a box. This is probably the coolest interview I've ever had. This is really great. I can't wait to get this one.
I think for our industry, I think outside of like what you talked about retention earlier. So outside of cultural issues creating a retention challenge, the number one loss of staff, I would put my hat on, would be the fact that somebody does come in, you do train them and everything, and then they're like, I can do this, and they go start their own roofing company. And so it's our way of kind of combating that we get to keep you with us. We get to like bring you into ownership in a different way. Yeah. And so then our best people don't just disappear to go start their own roofing companies. And statistically, those phase out very, very quickly. Yes. Yeah. Because you're very, very good at sales. Respectfully, you're generally not very, very good at the paperwork that comes with it, right?
Yeah.
So then those kind of comes in together to help us keep our best staff outside of just culture, is also to keep them fed in a way that they're able to grow independent from us and lead in their own territories.
I think that's something that we try to model as leaders too. This is why like partnership is really important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm always trying to recommend to people, if it makes sense for your business, have a business partner. Because it's something like Allison and I, we get to model too. Like there's different parts of the business that we lead. There's times we got to go in and serve each other. There's times she needs to put heat on my guys. There's times that, I've got to bring in and help speed up processes in the back. But what it shows is like the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. And so you're not just wrestling for the one throne. We share a lot of leadership. I can't think of one time that one of us has ever come in and like tried to steamroll the other person in front of the staff or have their way. We get in unity. We have our opinions, or try to come to understanding. And then we decide as an organization, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it becomes to paint a picture for like, it's actually okay. Like you don't have to get out to be able to have that kind of autonomy and friendship and partnership and all that
Right.
kind of stuff. Because in all reality, I don't think I can run this. I know I can't run this business on my own. I haven't done it.
Dude,
I have like 40 more years to do that.
all of my hands are up in the air right now. There's no way I could have built this company by myself. My wife left nursing to help. She's a CFO. We hired Donna. She was our sales rock star. She's the COO. We got directors now running the client success management and enrollment team, and it's building. We built the company from the inside out, making sure that we could meet the needs of our clients first, and then we hired sales. Like, man, its team is everything.
And the temptation, I think, as an entrepreneur, when you start something and things get tough, is you think, I could always blow it up and do it myself. Because back in the day, I did the things. And you think about that, but that's the holding the hand on the wheel in a way that prevents multiplication in your growth. And you've got to like let go and take risks. And I promise you, I've lost so much money on the risks. I always risk on people. It's cost me a lot of money. I've made more money and I've gotten more peace taking risks on people that maybe didn't deserve it, and it panned out.
Yeah.
And so I look at it where it's like, we're always going to be risk takers. We're always going to put risk in people, knowing that for every 3 people that blow up in our face, one of them is going to build a multi-million dollar business. And it's okay. Like, there's a saying that I don't know who originated. I'm going to pretend like it was me, but I know it wasn't. But it said, the same culture that Jesus created that allowed Peter, James, and John to be who they were was the same culture that allowed Judas to betray him. Yeah. There were certain hands of like empowering and hands off that we got Judas out of that. When you look at the ascension of Jesus, I don't have it in front of me. There was, I want to say like 500 or 600 believers at that time that had gathered together. Yeah. And he said to all of them, wait here until the helper comes. What do we see just 40 some days, 50 some days later in Acts 2? 120 people are there. And so it's like, there's a part of this where it's like, you've got to put some onus back on the people who are there to be there and stay and remain. And so Jesus here ministered to thousands, ministered deep with 12, 11 of them came to do what they were doing, 120 out of that. So you can look at the math, the return on investment of Christianity, which is now all over the world, like it's there, you're going to lose some people. And that wasn't on the mission that he had. That was on people's inability at that time to be a part of that mission. I like to believe in the couple thousands of people that were part of the early church in Jerusalem, some of those 480 that dipped came back in there, of course, Yeah. And so that's why I look with my team where I'm like, we're going to have to take some risks and let people do stuff. Craig Rochelle, I study his leadership podcast. He said, if someone can do something 80% as well as you, let them do it. Yeah. As entrepreneurs, we want to it's our way, it's our system, it's our thing.
It's got to be perfect.
He's like, do it 80% as well as you, because one day they might do it 120%.
Yeah, I've gotten really good at letting go.
I don't have time to hold it anymore. I'm too busy.
Oh, I have gotten so good at delegating and letting go. I'm like loving it now. And that's only because, like you just said, we got great team. How did the two of you come together?
How did we funny story. You ready?
Yeah.
We met. Josh was my assistant pastor at the church that I went to.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Oh, gosh.
10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, a long time.
And you said, hey, you should be roofing.
9 or 10 years ago.
I was much younger, but Allison hasn't aged a day.
Thank you.
So you said, hey, you should get on a roof. Is that what you said?
No,
No.
They were at the church that I was at the time. It was interesting is, I got to know them, at that time I'd started my first business, before that, and somehow got hooked up with James one day where James, Allison's husband, like I said, he's a business mentor of mine, and he just began to speak life into me that way. And I'd never had anyone highlight the business side of things. It was a journey I wanted to take because I came from like a missions and church world. They're really great at spending money. Whose money are they really great at spending? The business people. Anytime the church needs something or a missionary needs something, they're like, call the guy who owns the business. And so I got a lot of conviction as someone who is spending that money, where I said, man, what does it look like to generate revenue, to generate businesses, to create money, and then be in control of where it's going? Yeah. That started me on a 9-year journey of starting my first business. That's how I got hooked up with James and Allison, just through the Lord that way. There's so much more to that story, but we stayed in touch over the years where, I would get like business mentorship and just like support from their world. I'd see them at, the cafe. We'd run into each other at life. They were fostering at that time. My wife was a counselor. So, they'd cross up sometimes like, hey, what would you do with this kid and that?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I get called up and it's like, hey, I need I wasn't a pastor, for them for years. Hey, just have a faith-based question. Hey, we need your thoughts on this. Hey, we have this question. So James and I'd be like at B-dubs and I'm like talking profit and loss and trying to get him to and he's talking about packaging my business this way and systems and processes. And then he turns and goes, hey, I want to ask you about this thing I read in Romans. And so we're having like this, there's some discipleship is like being a step or two ahead of people and like breaking. The other discipleship is the iron sharpens iron. And so we walked a parallel path for years. Mm-hmm. And just due to timing and stuff, a couple of years ago, we all, Allison got out of her season of fostering at the level that she was. We kind of ended up merging through serving in an organization together, and Ascension was born out of that.
Right.
Like it was all just meant to be. It's so beautiful. I love it. Wow. Well, listen, I like to keep these fairly short. This is amazing. I feel so blessed and thankful that we're all here today sharing your story.
Oh, we're so thankful to have been a part of this today as well.
I built the Building On Purpose Tubecast just to I wanted to get to know our clients, and shut up, like me not talk, which is really wonderful, and actually dig in and kind of hear more about you and your story and your team. And I'm glad that I did this. It isn't big, it isn't popular, but I now get to share your story, which I know will impact the one person, two people, or three people's lives that will watch us somewhere. And you will change someone's life today. We don't know how or who it is, but the Lord will get this message to that person when it needs to be seen. And something really beautiful will happen from them just hearing your story today. So I want to thank you from my heart, sharing that with the audience and whomever's watching this on YouTube or wherever you're watching this. Of course, we are going to put your information in the bottom, so people can reach out to you, whether they need guidance, help, mentorship, a prayer. Absolutely. I got a group of guys that I reach out to because, man, the devil was whispering in my ear for the last 2 months. He was waking me up at 2 o'clock. I'd wake up at 5 and I'd go to my group of guys, John Brose, Randy Hurtado, and others, and say, guys, I need it today, man. Give it to me. So I'm going to put your information below because you never know whose life you can impact. And we'll get this thing launched and I'll share it back with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do. It means a lot to me.
Thank you. I appreciate your time so much, Chris.
Bye, guys. Take care. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.